I'm very excited to be here today and to talk to you about celebrating change, how to get your digital transformation going. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself and also Jan himself. My name is Luise Scharf. I work for smapOne, as you heard before. smapOne is a software company and we provide our customers with a no-code and low-code tool. And my part in this whole process isn't the technical part, but rather the human part. So when we talk about implementing new tools, I think every one of you knows it's a difficult thing to navigate. You can't just put in a tool and say, hey, do it for yourself. It needs to be navigated. And therefore, I am there for our customers to help them through the process. And today I brought some of them, and it's Jan.
Yeah, my name is Dönges. I work for Preußen Elektra. Some of the German people might know it. It's the biggest nuclear energy company in Germany. We're mostly dismantling nuclear power plants right now in Germany, as most of you probably know. And I work in the central IT department, and we did a very successful story with smapOne, and I'd like to share some of our insights with you.
Thank you. So before we start talking about embracing a digital mindset and embracing a digital culture throughout the whole company, I want to have a brief look at the past. And therefore I brought you a labor market change picture. You can see a timeline here where different ages of markets took place, and underneath you can see 3 little bubbles. Those bubbles stand for different labor markets that took place over time, and above you can see 2 colors which stand for different work methods that needed to be done to meet the market conditions. The red one stands for everything a human can do or must do, because those are very complex topics. You have uncertainty, the goal isn't clear at the beginning, you have to be flexible, you have to be innovative, and also there are many interactions on the way. The blue part stands for everything that can be done by machines. So everything that is rule-based, where you have clear processes, A leads to B, leads to C, and everything that is very predictable. And if we have a look at the left side, you can see narrow local markets, and it was a time of manufacturing ages. In that time, imagine yourself living in the village with no possibilities to travel far, and therefore you were very depending in your area. At that time, companies needed to be very innovative and they needed to be very flexible because they had limited amounts of customers available. And so it was very human-centric and very customer-centric. Over the time, the markets changed because we had new possibilities, new technologies, and therefore we had things like assembly line work, railroads. The market changed into a broad global market area, and companies now don't need it to be particularly for individual needs, but more about producing high volumes. And therefore there was an efficiency pressure that went up. And with the assembly line work, also Taylorism emerged and slowly dominated the market. In this time, the blue part increased rapidly, and the red part reduced, and a mindset emerged that we need a few thinking heads with new ideas and many executors for the machines, because we need to be productive, we need to make high volumes of products, and also we trained people to just execute machines and not think for themselves. With time, again, new technology developed and our market changed again. We now are in the network economy, and what that means is it's very complex, as you all know, and we have things like sustainability issues, innovational pressure that goes up, and also the whole bubble, new work, new employee demands. How can we react? How can we deal with those things? And also the part digitalization, IoT, in this whole area. And we also have in mind we have a huge IT leakage of skilled workers. And how can we now get ahead in this complex dynamic? Because we need more thinking heads. It isn't enough to have a few amount of people thinking and many who are executing. We need the thinking power of everyone again. And so we're facing now a lot of issues. And to be more specific, we brought our main problems from our customers or interested people, and we wanted to divide it in two parts. The first part, the IT department point of view, and the second part, other departments, when we're especially talking about digitalization. So, Jan, now you come in. Most of the time we notice certain situations. For example, other departments who see no need in change. We've done it always this way. We don't need to change. It's good as it is. Digital stuff is only for IT. I don't want to deal with it. Why should I? I haven't done the last 60 years. And that leads to problems for IT.
Yeah, exactly. Because as Luise already said, we have very limited capacities to tackle special problems because we are in our day-to-day work. We are not really too much people to tackle any new problems. So we are kind of caught within this day-to-day work. And also, as the IT, it's our main goal to bring good things to the company, and of course, as we are IT, those should be digital. And most of the time, when we can't provide any help to our users, these processes or problems remain in an analog way. So maybe like a paper or something else. And all this leads in the end to very poor data quality because as many companies, and we are one of them, our main processes are driven by data, and the less good this data quality is, the less good we can provide these processes with data, and this leads to more problems. And yeah, sometimes the other departments with outside the IT are going to solve them on their own, and I think Luise has some examples.
Yeah. On the one hand, we have other departments who don't want to take action, and the other point of view is that they do take action because they are impatient waiting for IT. You have a problem and you want a solution fast. And sometimes IT brings them solutions, but it's not that what they wanted because, lost in translation, there's something missing. And so if you have other departments who want to take action, they use stuff they already know. So for example, you have Excel landscapes, you have Word documents that aren't even in the whole company presented, and they're building poorly executed solutions which aren't approved by IT and where IT doesn't even has an idea that they exist. So IT has a lot of shadow things going on.
Totally. Yeah, and most of the things that happen is when the users are unhappy, they build their own solutions. We don't know about these solutions, but the first thing that happens if it doesn't work out, they knocking on your door and saying, please help me. And you have no idea what they have built. So we have a lot of shadow IT that's going on. That could be Excel, that could be Access databases that grow up until they can't really work anymore. And connected to the poor data quality, we have a lot of unstructured databases. So I think controlling has their own Excel, and the guys that are planning the dismantling of our power plants have their own database, and we have a lot of different data sources that aren't really connected together, and this leads to a very unstructured databases, and
that leads to you standing there in the middle.
Exactly, and you're standing in the middle of the and need to find a way out. And I think that's a very good point where we can look at the next step of our presentation.
How can organizations convince and empower their non-IT employees to participate in digitalization, and also in a way where IT can work with the data afterwards? The solution is citizen development, which describes a democratization of IT. So imagine yourself with no IT skills, and you get a platform where you can push a drag and drop system and build your own app within seconds. It is a way to enable everyone to create, and to enable everyone to digitalize their own processes, and it has a low entry hurdle. As I said, it's like the three people here. You have different bricks, and you just click one into another, and at the end you have your own app installed. And we wanted to find a way to build a connection between IT and other departments, because change can't be taken by one department. It can't be done by a few amounts of people. It needs to be done by everyone, and we need to find a way to enable everyone and to empower everyone. And that is the way citizen development is described: to democratize everyone, to empower everyone, and that as motivating as possible and with fast success. How did the implementation at Preußen Elektra work? I mean, theoretically, you can talk a lot about how things are going and how it works, but in practical, we need you here.
Yeah, and of course, we did what every IT department does. We just took a tour and give it to the users and forget about it. No, that's not the thing. Can you click one?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So Preußen Elektra is a very traditional company in Germany, and as you know the German mindset, and also like other regional suppliers like Hamburg Wasser, we don't really see a need for change because it works. I mean, we are working like for the last 30 years exactly the same. Why should we change now? And until the top management of Preußen Elektra said we need to digitalize, I think there was no idea what we should do. And actually, we were the last part is very interesting. We were surprised how well it worked out. So the management board was wants to mature digital transformation, because that's what everybody does. But how are we going to do it? That was the big question. And we are in a very lucky situation at Preußen Elektra. We are a daughter company of E.ON, and E.ON is one of the big energy suppliers within Europe. And there actually was a contract with smapOne that we could use. And as it was one of the preferred suppliers, we just said, okay,
let's give it a try.
Let's give it a try, exactly. So there was a base that we could use, but everything from starting with it until the point where we are now happened within our company, and
yeah,
I think it was very successful.
Okay, so you all have no idea what smapOne looks like, and therefore I would like you to describe briefly how was the first smapOne use for you.
It's for a foreign IT guy. Developing applications already seems like a big thing to do. So you need an API, and you need data, and you need a program to design the interface. But smapOne delivers this in one simple user interface where you can drag and drop bricks, like we saw on the page before, to build your own application. And actually, if we are talking to build a SMAP, what they are called,
very good.
we
checkpoint.
Yeah, perfect. We can talk about if you want to build an application that collects some data, for example, you can do it in 5 minutes and push it to the users within seconds. And it's really that easy. And we were really surprised how easy it can be to collect data instead of the usual stuff that you normally do, like create an Excel and push it via email, etc., etc.
Okay. What would you say was necessary to succeed within the implementation?
Yeah, I think, and we already heard this a lot of times today, I think you need to take the users with you. Because if like we are started with, when the management says we want to digitalize, you need some people to do it with. And we were in a very lucky situation. We had an executive meeting within Preußen Electra. It's once a year. It's like a big fair where every executives attend to. And we said, okay, you want digitalization, so we give you an opportunity with citizen development. And we just did a live demo of smapOne with a big flip chart, and on the one side of the screen you could see the live presentation of the app on the phone, and on the other half of the screen we opened the editor and just dragged and dropped these bricks within the designer, and you could see them appear live on your phone, and we had about 3 to 4 minutes for every presentation on this fair, and within 3 to 4 minutes we could easily build an application and present them. So we could convince most of our executives that this is one of these wow moments, and we also got the people that are interested in. So we took notes, which of our executives are interested in this, and which already gave us positive feedback within the presentation. And later we got back to them and said, hey, you remember we did present smapOne and this low-code, no-code application. Would you like to join? Or do you have some of your colleagues that would like to join? And that was, I think, one of the key points, that placing this citizen development within the company was really helped us within the process to spread it around.
Yeah.
And as I said, you need people to do it with. And with a friendly user group that we gathered within this executive meeting, we started a proof of concept together with smapOne and your colleagues, Luise. And actually, we just tried because we actually had no idea what applications our users would build with it, rather than they came up with a lot of ideas what problems could be solved with it. And I think that's one of the key points. Because you can't drive this digitalization within citizen development when you just command people to do it, rather than they need to see the benefit of what it can do for them. I think that's a key point.
I just want to proudly say that with Jan we had our most successful POC. Because they had the mindset of just try it, exactly. Just do it. Maybe it fails, maybe it works, but don't think too much and just start the process.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's also a very key point. You need to face the opportunity that you can fail, and not the opportunity. It's possible that you fail, and if you fail, I think that's okay most of the time, because if you try something like citizen development and it doesn't work out for you, maybe it isn't the right solution for you. But if it works out, even better, you have a great success, and your users are very happy with it, and ours certainly are.
How does it go into the future?
Yeah, I think we successfully closed the proof of concept. We pushed smapOne as a strategic application now within Preußen Electra, and what we are working on now is not to go any further in pushing this, rather than a community building a community within PreussenElektra that spreads the word. And also, like we already heard before, users help users with problems. So we got a Teams channel, we got regular calls where you can just ask questions, where you can just try around or ask your colleagues if they can help you. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges or needs we have to face now, is to build this community, to maintain it, and just to make it a regular application that you use every day.
Okay. So, in conclusion, citizen development isn't the only solution, and I would look at everyone critically who says in digital transformation there's only one solution, and that's me, because I think it needs many different perspectives. But if we have a look at the IT department, citizen development compensates for a shortage of skilled IT workers, and it empowers the existing employees to take part and to help the IT make it happen. You have less costs for external IT work. You have more IT capacities within your company, so you can start thinking about complex things that push your digital transformation. And you have new innovational power because you don't only have few thinking minds, but many thinking minds, and also thinking minds who know their processes best. On the one hand, besides IT, you change your whole culture through a rising, through collaborative goals. You only have separated IT with other departments, but rather have a collaborative goal where you can work on together. And therefore you also push your agile processes because you have a higher agility. Yeah, if you have people using no-code tools, the entry hurdle is very low and you learn fast and rapidly. And so therefore it's an iterative process. You learn new things, you start to adapt to your own SMAPs you already have. And so agility moves throughout your whole company. Also, you have fast and attractive solutions because it is easier to have a direct colleague who says, hey, I have something made up for our process, than having IT tell you, oh yeah, here's one solution, maybe you try it. And also you start an empowerment and ownership. Let's be honest, who wants to take responsibility in a change process where you don't feel unable to do anything? Nobody, right? So you start producing new ownership because you enable your people to take part. They are able to say, I'm responsible for my process, I can do it on my own, and here's my solution. So your whole culture changes. Jan, do you have something to say to those people?
Yeah, I think to conclude it, I think the main takeaways that we took from this proof of concept are maybe just try things out, even if they could fail. Don't overthink it, because it's very human, very German, to plan something and expect an outcome of it. In this case, I would say just try it. You need to convince your management that they allow their users or their people to spend time on this, because that's a very keen point. If they are not allowed to spend some time on it, it won't work out. And I think the third, we had 3 points.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, right?
I think I mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's one of the key points that success this whole story within our company.
So just try it, give your digital power to your people. And I have just only one question. When do you stop play with us? Thank you.
Thank you.